Okay. All right, so this is just a test run. Test run live stream here. Not promoted it or anything. No one should be watching. If you are, hi, but let's see here. Just to test everything out. Da-ba-da-ba. And I can't get this. Yes. So. And that will stop. Alright, like I said, just figuring things out here. I'm going to be showing you a little bit of what I'm working on every afternoon. Let's see. Hopefully that is actually showing my screen. We'll see. Yeah, there you go. For as long as I can until my toddler wakes up. So it's going to be during her nap time. Going to be showing you some stuff about animation, traditional animation. Let me pull this up here. So I'm creating animations in a program called Krita, which is an open source free program that is made for drawing and animating traditionally. So kind of it isn't like you set up a skeleton and animate it like a puppet. You draw each frame, although you can do different layers and stuff like that. But it's free, it works reasonably well, and I am, I'm not an expert at animation by any means. I'm learning. I've learned enough to start, and that's what I will be teaching here, is kind of as I go, as I learn, I will show you what I know for what it's worth. So I'm working on this just kind of base walk cycle for a character here, so I'll show you how that goes. Basically what I start off drawing is what's called the contact poses, which is where the front foot, as the character brings it forward, contacts the ground for the first time. So they're not putting any weight on that foot, they're just contacting the ground with their foot. Like the moment that touches the ground is the contact position. So we've got those down here in the timeline as the kind of dark gray frames. So here and here. We'll turn that off. So I start with those frames. And I don't draw the whole character right at the beginning. I start off with just like a round head, no ears, no arms, no tail, just the legs. I start off by drawing those contact positions, and then draw the frames in between them, in between those contact positions, which are the red frames, and these are the called the down and the up positions. So that's where kind of the legs cross each other. So where the leg that was in the back is now going to the front, and the leg that's in the front is now going to the back. So I'm sorry. No, those are the passing positions, not the up and down positions. Those are the passing positions. So we've got the contact positions where the foot first makes contact with the ground, the passing positions where the legs are passing each other as the character is walking, and then in between the contact and the passing positions we have down, these blue frames, which are down, up, which is just kind of halfway in between them. So, and I don't do any of the details to start off with. Again, I just had like a round head and was focusing on the legs to get the walk cycle down first. So, focused very much on getting that done. And then I put more details into the head, made the head bob up and down. Then I added the tail and had the tail, move around realistically, etc. And then I added the ears. So now and the arms, of course. The arms weren't there either. So now I have kind of this basic walk cycle, 3, 6, 7, 8. And it's been rather hard to find anyone who teaches this kind of animation in Krita, and so I've kind of had to puzzle it all out using textbooks and such. So I'm kind of coming up with my own workflow here. So I'll teach you all the stuff. I'll take you through animating from the ground up, and I'll show you this animation here too. 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh. And I'm not an expert at this program either. All right, cool. Turn that frame rate up. All right, so that is way too fast. Slow down, bunny. Yeah, so there's the basic walk animation for the rabbit character, and it's very much still in the sketch line drawing phase, and there are some problems with it, but that's the basic thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the character. The next animation that I'm going to be working on, but I'm going to be drawing the character walking from the front, because the game I'm making this for is a top-down adventure game, like a Zelda type game. And so our character will be walking all 4 directions, so I'll be animating all 4 directions. And again, I'm just going to start off, try very hard to go general to specific with everything. So I make just the line drawings first, so I can hammer out the problems, and I still see problems here, of course. And then as soon as I've got the, once I've got the animation really solidly down, then I can move on to doing, the fun coloring and clothing and animating all that. But doing the base animation, even if I draw something that covers this up or changes it, doing the base animation should be very helpful, mostly because it really saves you time in the long run, because it's easier to get it looking right than if I drew all the clothes and then try to animate it. So it's easier to get the motions down just with a line drawing, and then add the other things later once you've got the motions down. I've heard it called the long shortcut, because basically doing it right the first time is better than trying to take shortcuts, and ends up making the process longer and more difficult. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. If you're interested in animation, in learning how Krita works in games, then join me. It's going to be most afternoons for just a little while, maybe hour or less, depending on my 1-year-old, because she goes down for a nap in the afternoon, and this is this will be happening during her nap time, and that's all I have to say about that. So this is just the introduction. I'll be doing some kind of like basics of Krita, so you know what stuff I'm using within Krita, so you can animate your own characters if you want to, or whatever you want to do. And you know, to repeat my disclaimer, I'm no expert. I will just teach you stuff as I learn it, because I want to make a resource for people who want to learn this type of animation too, because it's kind of difficult to find a resource for that. So that's that, and I will sign off now, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon if my 1-year-old takes a nap. All right.